Questions and answers on how to prepare for a good death in the perspective of Buddhism by Phra Paisal Visalo, narrated by Usawadi Sinthusen. What does Buddhists say about suffering in general and suffering in particular at the end of life? Reply. In Buddhist perspective, suffering is the reality that no one can escape from. We are all facing aging, sickness, separation, and loss, either sooner or later. The reason is that life is uncertainty. Everything in this world is only temporary, but changes are certainty. In other words, impermanence. Our life is pressurized by internal and external factors, which lead to constant changes. Everything ultimately is rotten and disintegrated. That means suffering. There is no self which is independent or permanent. In Buddhism, we use the word non-self or anatta. We can only delay or escape suffering for a while, but it is inevitable. What we can do is to alleviate sufferings and lessen its effects when it occurs. However, it is possible that those conditions of suffering can only affect us physically, but not necessarily affect our mental conditions. Buddhism believes that every human can cultivate their minds to be free from sufferings. Even though we all face aging, sickness, and death, our minds need not be painful from this. If only we accept the reality with no refusal and no resistance. Acceptance is the most important factor for us to be free from sufferings. Instead of being affected by physical sufferings, we can use it to our benefits. Be reminded constantly that nothing is certainty. Wisdom is also the key success to enlighten our minds to be free from sufferings. There have been numerous monks and lay people who got enlightened while they were facing sufferings from sickness and death. In other words, sickness and death can develop our wisdom to realize the ultimate truth and achieve enlightenment. Can learning from this be relevant to the end-of-life care, irrespective of the faith of the individual? Reply. Buddhism believes that happiness is possible at the end of life. There should be no fear when the time has come. Every human has in his own capacity to be happy, regardless religion he professes, or even no religion at all. Peaceful death is possible for all human beings. What is good living? Reply. Good life means life with well-being, free from sickness, poverty, or exploitation. Good life also means living a life with morality, not take others' advantages, but also do good deeds for others and society. It involves peaceful mind, having compassion, and not dominated by greed, anger, and delusion. It is life not inflicted by suffering, resulting from understanding the reality of life, and is capable to solve the problems that arise. What is good death? Reply. Good death from Buddhist perspective is not determined by the way one dies or the reason of death. It is rather characterized by the condition of mind at the time of death, dying in peace, without fear or mental sufferings. This is possible when one accepts one's own death and let go of everything. No attachment of anything or any person. Good death is also characterized by the blissful states of existence where one is reborn. Best of all, it is death with enlightened mind, achieving the ultimate wisdom concerning the true essence of nature. This enables the mind to be free from suffering and realize nirvana with no reborn. Does good living always lead to good, or in other words, comfortable death? Reply: good life could lead to a peaceful death, but not always. When a person is dying, if his mind is in sorrow or worried about his children, parents, beloved ones, or couldn't let go of his properties, guilty or unfinished business, he would refuse and fight with death at any cost. This will lead to torment, agitation, and restlessness, with woeful existence after death. Besides, physical pain from sickness may cause patients to be angered and agitated and find no peace at the end of life. Is good death possible without good living? Reply: good death could happen to those who have unwholesome life, though it is very rare. This is because those who have unwholesome life are afraid to go to evil states after death. So they are fearful of death. Many suffer from guilt, are so haunted by bad conducts in the past. As for those who are dominated by greed, anger, or delusion, they always find difficulty in letting go their property or ill will. This will inevitably lead to death in torment. However, if they are lucky enough to have friends who can help them to recall good deeds and let go of everything, their mind will become wholesome and good death is possible for them. Death being certain in life, how can one prepare for that certainty? Reply: preparing for death is a necessity for all human beings, because we all will face it, no matter how we are or who we are. We should prepare for death by exercising, in quotation marks, the contemplation of death. It means we should remind ourselves constantly that we will die sooner or later. We do not know when, where, and how. Then we should ask ourselves, if we die soon, are we ready for that? Have we done any good deeds to our loved ones and others? Is it enough? Are we sufficiently responsible for everything that we have? Are we ready to let things go? If the answer is no, not ready yet, we must do good deeds from now on and try to complete those tasks and responsibilities. Finally, we have to learn how to let things go. Doing good deeds means we have nothing to be sorry for. Then, letting things go will enable us to face, embrace death, and ready for it now and then. How can we overcome the fear of death? Reply: the fear of death occurs when we tend to forget we all die, sooner or later. We may have unfinished business and worry about beloved ones or belongings. One may be fearful of death because one is uncertain about what will happen to him after death. The fear of death can be relieved if we regularly practice the contemplation of death. Try to do our best to our beloved ones. try to complete our important tasks and responsibilities. Meditation is a good way to cultivate our minds to accept death, seeing death as a part of life with no fear at all. How can meditation assist in alleviating sufferings towards the end of life, even in those who have not practiced meditation before? Reply: meditation helps lessen sufferings. At the end of life, when pain occurs, one can focus on one's breaths, in-breath and out-breath. One's mind and breath are in harmony. Concentration and calmness will take place. Calmness of mind will produce some chemistry in one's body that can gradually lessen the pain. Calmness meditation also diverts the mind from physical pain, enabling one to be unaware of the pain or feel less pain. Mindfulness meditation can also relieve sufferings. Mindfulness meditation helps the mind to let go the pain. Instead of being pain, mindfulness enables us to be aware of the pain. This will reduce mental pain, only physical pain that exists. Experienced meditators can give advice to anyone to eliminate the degrees of sufferings. An appropriate and peaceful environment can also help relieve pain. Reminding oneself with good deeds in the past, or concentrate of sacred things one has faith, can support patience mindfulness meditation as well.